You gonna stay with me tonight, Leo? Oh, what are you growling at? No growling. Hello, hello.
No.
No barking,
Hello,
please.
hello.
Sir.
So captive of my desires.
I know. Okay. I'm not joking when I say I literally just finished it 10 minutes ago. Get that last minute book.
Oh, that's funny. I think that was me with Gentle Road, was it? Or something like that. Like I just finished it.
It was like one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was definitely one of those. So I haven't, I mean, I literally just finished it. So I thought I wasn't going to finish it too. I was like, oh my God, I really need to read this book.
Luckily, I was able to Friday finish it. Less than 24 hours, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been in a weird mood this month or this week, so it was weird.
I feel you. I know, I'm starting to get into like, okay, now I really want to get in all fantasy. Take a break from historical romance a little bit.
I'm kind of getting there too. Well, I am reading another book that's kind of both. Like, well, it said it was a fantasy. I thought it was a fantasy historical romance parody. And if it's supposed to be a historical romance, they're also mentioning the president of the United States and the World's Fair. So I don't know that it's historical. But there's also vampires, so and like wizards. But it's also a parody. So it's like a book within a book. It's by Cassandra Gannon, and it's called the worst romance in the world. I'm enjoying it. But I'm just reading so slowly right now because I'm just like can't focus on it.
Yeah, I don't know how. I think one night, I don't know, I just had like high anxiety or something. Yeah, the storm did not help.
Yeah.
We had a major storm Thursday night, so yeah.
I bet it didn't. So, anyways.
So what book are you reading right now? You said, what is it called?
Oh, it's called The Worst Romance in the World by Cassandra Gannon. And it is a farce. So she has another book called Not Another Vampire Book. And in that book, the heroine is an editor. And she's editing this book that she's labeled The Worst Romance in the World because it's just so bad. And so then after that book, Cassandra Gannon like kind of took all the little snippets that she wrote for that book, and then she decided to write a full-length fake book. So yeah, that's what this book is about. It's weird. It's a little meta, but it's like meant to be funny, but I actually do think it's like she's achieving what she was set out to do. So it's pretty bad. But it's also fun bad. So I don't know.
Well, I am reading The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Crystal Broadbent. So I'm finally delving into Crystal Broadbent.
I was so excited. I love that book.
I'm loving the Hunger Games vibe. I'm like, I don't know. There's something about like the underdog and she's just trying to like survive. I don't know. I love that trope.
Yeah. Yeah, I love Araya. She's cool. She's a non-vampire living in a vampire world.
I guess I should have posted that, yeah. And then...
Oh yeah, huh?
Hello, everyone else. A lot of practice. Hello, everyone else. If there's anybody here. All right. So yeah, I'm 40% in that. I'm really liking it so far. I am.
Oh, you are.
Yeah, it's only. Well, I've been reading it. I had to stop it at 20% and to start and finish Captive of My Desires. But yeah, luckily I was able to tandem read with the audiobook, although the narrator wasn't my favorite. But because she was talking so slow, I was listening to it on any play, I was able to get it at 1.75 speed. So my my library ironically didn't have it. Usually they have a lot of the audiobooks,
Right.
but yeah. So
Yeah.
I got, and I also got the ebook from the library too. So
Oh,
it's nice to do that. All
nice. Yeah,
right.
I think I
Well,
read that one on Kindle Unlimited. So.
oh, okay. Oh, I was talking about the Captive of My Desires audiobook.
Oh, that
But
one. Yeah.
is there,
Yeah.
if there's an audiobook of Serpent and the Wings of Night, is it on just on?
There, there is an audiobook, but I think it's just on Audible. I haven't
Okay,
seen it
okay,
on Scribd,
okay,
so.
okay. All right.
And then,
So,
yeah,
very good.
go for it.
Sorry. So, what did you think? And you just finished it. What did you rate this one for Captive of My Desires?
I will say this seems like a book I would absolutely love. Like, it felt like I should love this. But I think ultimately I'm giving it 3 stars.
Ooh, okay.
Um, I will say, well, that's my rating. We'll say why later. I do think half of that is me. I'm in this weird funk right now. But I think just regarding my own mood, like I did like a lot of the plot elements of it,
Yeah.
but other things I
Me,
didn't
I'm teetering between a 4 and a 3 because I did really like the part where they're like on the ship and like kidnapping each other.
like.
But that was
Mm-hmm.
really my main part that I liked. So I'm like teetering on like between a 4 and a 3 because I'm like I liked it, but I didn't. That was really the only part that I liked. I wish there was like more of that whole hijinks part. So that's where I'm at. It's like
Yeah, well, what was her name again? I literally just finished it.
Gab
It's a G.
Gabrielle. Gabrielle.
Gabrielle. I keep wanting to say Georgie. There's too many G names.
Well,
Gabrielle.
James and Georgie did have like another major,
See, that's
well,
been
it's like
kind of
caveat. What do you call it? Caveat
yeah.
thing. What do you call it?
That's been my problem with some of these is that it's like they keep bringing back James and Georgie, probably because it was her most famous book, and she wants to bring some of that light into these other books to get people to continue reading them. But I'm over them. Like, I'm over James and I'm over Georgie. I love them, but I'm over them. Like I'm tired. I'm tired. And Drew. I think he's a bit of a jerk through the entire thing. Like I don't understand what she sees in him. Like he's not nice to her ever. Ever. And
Well,
even up until the
yeah,
last page. And then Gabrielle, she does that whole "I hate you, you blackguard" thing, and then in the next 2 seconds, she's sleeping with him, and she does that multiple times. Like, oh, he touched me again, and she can't help it. And I was just like, oh God, girl. I
yeah.
didn't get it.
Yeah, I think what worked for me was I really liked when she kidnapped him. That was
Yeah,
so funny. The kidnapping is
yeah.
always a hit.
And I like when
And then
he, like the whole hole in the wall thing, and then the other guy just ripped his chains out of the wall and like set him free. And she's like, "Oh, how'd you do it?" Like that kind of stuff was really. I like that she stole his ship with all of them on it.
that
Yeah,
kidnapped him. Yeah, and then she tried to pretend to be a pirate. She's like, "Well, you're calling me a pirate, then I'm just gonna start acting like one." But
yeah.
even I think what's his name? I think Richard was like, "Well, if you start acting like one, then he's gonna believe that you are one, or you're just gonna prove him right." And she's
Mm-hmm.
like, "That's the point." But
Duh.
he'll
Yeah,
feel dumb like a dum dum when he finds out I'm not.
yeah. And then the whole like
But
how he kind of ruined her by calling her a pirate in front of everybody. And then later on she forgave him by just going, "Oh, well, he didn't mean it. He was drunk. It's okay." Like, he didn't try to ruin me. Like, yeah, he did. Like, he absolutely did, because he saw you with another guy and he was jealous. He absolutely did on purpose. Whether he remembers or not, that's his fault.
Yeah. The whole like, oh, I can't be held accountable for my actions because I was drunk. Like, no,
Yeah.
you can.
Yeah, you can. You can say sorry. Jesus. He wasn't even that sorry. I don't know.
No, because
I don't
he's
know.
still
I like
because
really
even though
like
he's like, yeah, even if he's like, yeah, I did call you a pirate, but he's like, well, no one took me seriously. I was joking. And he's like, oh, then like, well, if you are a pirate, like, he's like, for some reason he had this perception that she was a pirate and that she wasn't innocent.
he had the perception that she was a pirate only because he wanted to sleep with her. And that was the way he thought that he would sleep with her. It was like, oh, she's a pirate, so she's a loose woman. I'll get her instantly like that because she's a pirate, and it'll be okay then.
Yeah.
But then, like, okay, the whole it was a dream scene where he basically rapes her.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously she was fine with it, but like,
at least.
yeah, dubious.
Yeah, dubious because at the same time, I remember like during this time period, I remember like these old bodice rippers are because they felt like it had to be dubious consent because they had a way for women to feel like the power was given away so they can have passion or whatever, for permission to have passion. But yeah,
that is
it was weird.
Yeah, that is still just one thing with these older historicals that like really just skeeve me out. Like, I have never liked dubious consent, and I still don't like it. Like, and to me, there isn't a good enough reason for it. You know what I mean? Like I was dreaming and I thought it was a really good dream. No, I don't know. What was his reason? You know what I mean? Like, he's supposed to be the gentleman here, and he's not at all.
Well, at the same time, like the thing about like Sea of Ruin, there's definitely non-consent and stuff in there, but it's meant to be like that's a dark romance. But that's kind of what it reminds me of when she kidnaps him. Is like, oh yes, you get another that aspect of like she's trying to kidnap pretending to be a captain, but it kind of like gave me that feeling again because I really liked Sea of Ruin, so I'm looking more for pirate stuff like that.
I did too. I really liked Sea of Ruin. And again, there are assault scenes in there, and some of them with the main hero and some not. But even the ones, I mean, it makes sense there because it's a captive captor and it's a dark romance. This isn't a dark romance. So I don't know.
Like dark. It's like medium. It's like
I don't know. It's so light that it doesn't even
it
doesn't make sense in this book to me personally. But I can understand how it's like because of the time period and what the story is, and it's a bodice ripper, that kind of stuff. I get that. It's just it's not my thing. It's just not my thing.
So you're saying what didn't work for you was that whole dubious consent at the minimum. Was there anything else before that?
I will say what worked for me. The one thing that worked for me, because I skipped ahead, obviously, when she's trying to make Drew jealous, and so she kisses her friend. Was it Richard or was it Ward?
Yeah, he's Richard. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Richard, and he's like, "Good God, woman!"
She falls on her butt.
She falls on her butt. I love Richard. I love Richard a lot. But that worked for me. But yeah, the Drew didn't work for me. The dubious consent didn't work for me. I liked the plot with the whole French like
friend guy,
the bad guy. I liked that whole thing. Although like all he wanted was her, like, come on. I don't know. Anyways.
The villainous like mustachy twirly guy at the end, it felt very obvious. Like, I don't know, it felt very Not as intense as what oh gosh, what was that one that it was so bad with a really bad narrator? Was it Say You Love
The,
Me or whatever? Yeah, I just
the
don't like
first
the
one.
villainous mustachy characters. It
Well, and
felt
his
like
motivations are terrible. Like he
it was
just
weak
likes
at
her.
best. Yeah, and it
Yeah.
was with
And,
Red, the other
yeah.
that pirate girl. Yeah.
And if you had said that he wanted her to get back at her father, like he wanted to ruin her to get back at her father, I would have believed that more. But no, he
Is
just
that
wants
her?
her because she's pretty.
Yeah,
He thinks she's pretty,
yeah.
and he
I
wants
heard
what
like
he
he had
wants.
a lot of pock marks and such. He was kind of like, or moles. He had a lot of moles on his face and such. Like, okay.
Well, no, like at the end, he's like sickly, like
Mm-hmm.
something's wrong with him. So I don't know.
It was just weird. It was just,
But mostly it's his
it's really,
attitude that's gross. Like, he's just
yeah.
gross
It's
because
like,
he wanted her since she was a child. It's like gross, you know?
yeah, I just felt like it was stretching to have it had to be a bad guy. But I'm like, maybe to make the hero look better. Because, I don't know. Because the hero was still kind of questionable. I don't know.
Yeah, Drew should have been the bad guy.
I'm like, okay, make him a, morally gray character.
Well, it's like, and they don't really explain why he hates pirates so much either. But we know that in previous books because of the war thing, right? Like they were all in the war and with the English and stuff like that. And
Because of
but
James, too. Yeah. His
but in
rivalry with
here,
James.
petty. Like I don't know, like the whole I don't like pirates. Come on now, we all like pirates. Give me a break. Even though I didn't like this, like I didn't love it, I still like it because there's pirates in it. And
Yeah.
well, she's not a pirate, but she
She
becomes a
pretended,
pirate.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't, if they would have more of that banter back and forth, I feel like, and I didn't necessarily need, maybe there was some weird hijinks with like treasure hunting because her dad was like a treasure hunter kind of pirate, like maybe kind of make it very Daughter of the Pirate King kind of like a little bit of a vibe. That would have been
Yeah.
more fun, but like you didn't need the villainous character guy. So,
Yeah. I
we,
did like how they did that whole treasure at the end. They found
Mhm.
his treasure at the end, but that was such a minimal plot point. Like, I don't know why they ended it like that, but they didn't have an epilogue, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah, there was no
There was no epilogue.
3 kids later and everything like that. Like
There
I
was
hated.
no
Ooh.
babies. Oh, you dropped me.
I
You
dropped
dropped.
you. I'm so sorry.
Ouch.
Oh goodness.
So yeah, I don't know if I'm just like in that mood where I can't read a serious book right now. I've read too many very non-serious books, and now it's harder to get into a serious book. I actually have another one that I'm reading that I'm almost to the DNF portion, and I'm so mad about it. But I think that's just me. I'm just not in the mood right now. So
Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting more into fantasy, but I'm hoping that the next one of this series though, this was like the last one that I remember reading, the No Choice But Seduction. Like,
yes,
but
which
no, it's another kidnapping. So
it's another kidnapping. Well, I'm okay with that. I mean, I always
it's
love the
gonna
kidnapping.
be, but it's gonna be with Anthony's daughter. So I think we're starting to get to the kids
Judith?
generation. I think.
Is it Judith? Has she grown that much yet? No.
Well, yeah, the Judith was in this one. I think they're like teenagers in this one.
Are they?
And
I didn't think she was that
Parker
old.
Levite Desires. Yeah, I feel like they kind of grown up a little bit here with or flash forward it kind of a thing. It's Katie
Tyler.
and caught the attention of Boyd Anderson, so the other brother.
Oh, okay. So Sir Anthony Mallory's young daughter is abducted.
I guess it's Katie, although I don't remember Katie being
Oh,
even
thank God. James and
mentioned.
Georgie are going to be in the Caribbean. Maybe they'll not be in this book.
Yeah, I felt like that was it felt like it's trying to ride the curtails of book 3.
It does. And I'm like, no, I think this book could have stood out on its own without having all of that. I like that they were the sponsors of her at the balls, but they didn't have to have such like a huge role in the book. Like, I mean, James didn't even take her to the balls except for one of them. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
He could have definitely seen the end when they were like coming to the rescue, but
yeah.
I didn't hate it at all. Like I did think the plot was engaging, and I was engaged through the whole audiobook too. Like the banter
short, too.
Yeah, the banter was good. Like I did really like the banter. I just didn't like, again, I think always the book where the book falls for me is when I don't like one of the two main characters. So I didn't like Drew really that much. He was okay, but he just was like, he was a jerk like through the whole thing. And he's just an unrepentant jerk to me, you know, like he didn't care. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's kind of like, why did, besides the fact that he's the first one that really made her feel something, that's really the only allure that he had for Gabby. So I don't know.
He's tall. She kept mentioning how tall he was. Tall and handsome. Yeah. Jeez. Anyways.
Although I did like her relationship with her dad, and like the fact that she kind of already knew that her dad or her mom didn't have a good relationship.
Yes. And I liked how like when she got to the Caribbean and met her father and like she found out that he was a pirate, like she sailed with him for several years and they got to know each other and had a relationship, and like I liked that part of it. I would have liked to see a little bit more of her with her dad. Like that was cool. As much as I say I hate the family stuff in this series, right? Like I would have wanted that family stuff. I'm just over James and Georgie at this point. It's book 8 and they were in book 3. Yeah.
They're pretty much I felt like they were like in every single one, which is great and all, but I'm like, it feels like, I know you don't like Bridgerton, but like for me, like Bridgerton kind of paces that to where it's like there's banter and interactions with the family members at different points. It's not like Anthony and Kate in every single one, and you have to follow Anthony and Kate being involved. There's really none of that. So,
yeah, in Bridgerton, each of the other people, you know, they all take their turns in the spotlight, and everyone else is kind of just background and adds to the story. But in this one, you're putting James and Georgie in a spotlight for most of the book, like a good third of the book. And I'm just like, pass.
I'm there for the banter. Be like, you know, like there's like only a couple of scenes in the Bridgerton books where the brothers have their own banter, like when the guys are deciding, you know, they're like, you know, basically giving him the logic and like lecturing him and kind of oh my gosh, giving him a hard time, and then he finally realizes that, oh yeah, they need annoying him and that kind of stuff. So I liked that dynamic, like in each one of those books, to where it's only like a couple of scenes, but you still get that banter and family thing, and you see more of their personality as the secondary character. But the focus is on the two main love interests. That just kind of adds to the whole banter, and then the banter between the main characters, it kind of adds. So I'm like, it all balances out. That doesn't seem to happen in this series, I think.
I agree. Yeah, because I think I just read a book that has like the family dynamic, but then like when it's not their turn, like they're just the supportive characters, you know, like they're, even though they were, I don't know what I'm saying. I just don't like they're taking up too much of the spotlight.
I know, like you need to make character. They could be in the background to be part of the banter and the comedic interaction in that scene, but not the focus.
It's not as bad as like what was it, book 4, the one we hated? Like it was like, oh my god, is half of this book James and Georgie again? Is this James and Georgie 2.0? Gentle Rogue 2.0.
It didn't feel like a romance. It felt like the romance took a back seat.
It did. It did. I do think the romance here was at the forefront, at least.
A little bit more, yeah.
But it was so like one-sided, I almost felt like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't believe it.
Hopefully eventually, I just don't think anything else could compare with Gentle Rogue. I don't know.
I know. I did love that book. It's so fun. And I loved this one had the potential. And then the other one that I think was second best was not the last one. Was it the last one we read? With
that one I love, yeah, because I like the character, like the
his son.
Hidden Identity or whatever.
Yeah, Hidden Identity one. Oh my god, what am I cannot remember the characters' names.
Danny, was the main character of that one.
Yeah,
that one I really liked her in that one, and Jeremy was good too. So it's just like when you like the characters, it makes the book so much better.
Scoundrel. It was the last one. Mm-hmm. Jeremy, that's his name.
Yeah.
Jeremy and Danny.
Really? Nothing?
What? My husband's making faces at me.
Text.
Oh gosh. Okay. Anyways.
What? I don't know if I have anything else about it. I think I might at this point after our conversation make him remember. I'm like, yeah, I might rate this at 3.
Yeah, I don't really have anything else to add either.
I just wish I loved it more, but
yeah, I do wish I loved it more. And again, it's like it's hard because I feel like this would totally be a book that I would really like. Like it had all the elements there, but it just
didn't execute it all the way for you.
Yeah, the execution was not there for me. Yep. Oh well.
On to the next.
On to the next. Let's see, Pluto. What do you think about it?
A baby kitty.
Yeah. He's my new baby. He's very snuggled. He's very snuggled. He's like, no, thank you. He has not even opened his eyeballs yet.
What did you name him?
The kids named him Pluto.
You named him Pluto.
Well, they first suggested Jupiter. And then my sister was like, no, Uranus.
Yeah.
And then, see, he doesn't like that one. And then I was like, Pluto. And they were like, oh, yeah, Pluto. I'm like, okay. Pluto it is. Yeah, my husband likes Miles. And I was like, he looks like an Oscar to me, but he's real sweet. So he needs like a sweet name. But the kids want Pluto. So his name's going to be Pluto. Yep. We're in kitty land over here. The other kitty is not happy. Oh, yeah, he's the only one not happy in this family. It's the other kitty.
He's like, no, I get all the attention, guys. There's no competition.
Yeah. It was like there's this other creature in my space. You know, it's like
no.
Yeah. Leah loves him. Thankfully, he's a good boy. He loves the kitties. But yeah. That's all I
got. That's all I got too.
Okay. Well, so we can end this short this month.
Yeah. I guess I'll have to put the streaming one on there. For our next one, it's going to be the September 30th, right? Sunday, same time. Yes. I think. I just got to put it on the live streaming.
Okay.
Schedule it.
Or no, the 30th, the 24th.
30th.
30th is a Saturday.
Sunday? That's not.
Sunday's
I did that wrong. 24. What did I put it on? I
So
have
the
the
last the
graphic,
20.
but I think yeah, I put the graphic. Apparently, I must have been on a different
Oh.
month and thought it was. So I'll have to fix the graphic, and then I'll schedule the streaming.
Okay.
I'll put it
Just
on your channel.
Just put any date you want on there. I'll be there.
So Sunday, September 24th on your channel, same
On
time.
my channel. And hopefully James and Georgie won't be there. They'll be stuck in the Caribbean.
We just give me different characters.
Please. I mean, it sounds like Anthony might be in this one more because it's his daughter being kidnapped, and I'm okay with that. I like Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, all
All
right. Short and sweet today.
Short and sweet. All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye.